Hello and welcome to another Runescape Wilderness survival episode of Buster Friendly. And you guessed it, we're killing dragons today, hanging out. RuneScape level 44 membership. RuneScape Wilderness. Good old fashioned RuneScape grind. So yeah, if you're here for the live stream, welcome. If you're here for the playback, well, that's the gist of it. Maybe fast forward through if you like to listen to my diatribe ramblings. I'm not promising anything. Hopefully the audio is working. That's all I have to say. Sup, Bernie Draws? How you doing? Bernie Draws. We got our first person. The nice dog, Bernie Draws. I might even do the face cam, but that's only for viewers who stick around until the middle of the video. Yeah, RuneScape is the oldest video game. It's like the oldest MMORPG ever ever created. I mean, probably, or it has like a weird history. You know, like George Bush played RuneScape. Not a lot of people know that. There's like a video we should dig up of when it's like a CNN like thing because it's like, oh, back in the day when they were introducing this concept of the MMORPG, they had like they ran it as like people are going crazy. They're spending all day on the computer, right? Like that's what the MMORPG was marketed as. It was like first they did RuneScape and then they did EverQuest and then they did you name it. World of Warcraft was soon to follow. But one often overlooked thing about the computer age and that whole era of time, the like and a lot of stuff came out of that era. Like Apple was founded back then. Uh like Steve Jobs and all those people. Like it's very it's worth a lot, or it's there's a lot of wisdom that you could get from just looking into that era of early Silicon Valley. Like that video where the guy's like developers, 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 like that sort of thing. Um, you look at the college campus culture around Harvard and stuff like that, and the way that I mean movies like The Social Network and stuff that like depict Zuckerberg. I mean the spirit of I heard George Bush played RuneScape. I heard that from a friend. I've never seen the video, but it's an old game. It's from 2005. I mean, he was president, and it was one of those ads that said that George. We'd have to dig it up, but it said that he was like, "Oh, this is the video game that people are getting addicted to," and like, I don't have the clip, so I can't like say that I'm sure 100%. But a buddy told me that George Bush played RuneScape, and it ties into what I always thought of RuneScape. Maybe this is should be titled like "Oop, girl." Yeah, well, whatever. I'll find a clip, and then you'll have to eat those words. That's weird. Yeah, well, I mean, I heard that he did. I heard that he did. I heard that he did. My buddy told me. My buddy plays a lot of RuneScape. My buddy plays a lot more RuneScape than you or I ever will in our entire lives. And he's convinced he says he's seen the video. I don't know if he told me that just to reinforce the RuneScape rumor, but that's the other thing about RuneScape is there's a ton of lies and mythology around this game. I mean, you got people like Zezima, who's like the legacy of Zezima, who was like one of the first like really leading characters. Wow, I'm so baffled. Yeah, whatever. I have MS DOS floppy disk of Bill Clinton getting a foot massage from Monica. Yeah, that's probably worth something. A floppy disk of yeah, my uncle has one of those too. Keeps it in the shed down by the freaking beef jerky thawing out for the winter. After the winter, I should say, hunting some elk. Happy spring, everybody, too. It's spring. It's about to be April 1st. Uh, I don't know. I don't have an April 1st, April Fool's Day special for the channel. I'm lucky to be alive. Um, so I guess the April Fool's Day thing is, yeah, foot massage. That's actually new, isn't it? From Lewinsky. What even is the news about that? Uh, the I don't know. It's weird when like those like puff pieces, like people talking about like the Clinton Monica Lewinsky crap. It's like who really knows anymore? Who like knows anything anymore? Because it's so far in the past. Like, isn't it odd to think about like things that are dropping on the news today will one day be perceived of as like ancient history? Like that trips me out every day. Like when somebody shows me like, oh look, I posted my picture on Facebook, and then my mind goes to that theory of like the digital graveyard. Like in the future, the Facebook hard drive will be it'll be a digital graveyard, right? Full of faces of people who once lived, and like a record of people's lives uh who aren't around anymore. Happy April Fool's Day. That was actually my date to be born on. But I held out 2 days. Yeah, man, that would be a pretty weird I don't know. I don't know about getting presents. You might get like a bad joke. Any tips for a small YouTuber like me? I don't know. No. No, I don't have any tips. Let me look for my. Probably stay up all night, right? Like stop sleeping, because I don't know what. Get used to not sleeping. That's probably my tip for somebody who's trying to become a YouTuber. I'd say like get used to. I'd say get used to never ever being happy again, like, and always be like, or just like get ready for like this the worst. I mean, me becoming a YouTuber is like, I'd say the best trick to becoming a YouTuber is don't think of yourself as a YouTuber. You should do something else. You should have like a talent. Like, say you wanted to be like a musician YouTuber. Um, if you wanted to be like a musician YouTuber, what you should do is you should go become a musician. And then naturally your music will end up on YouTube, and you should put it there too. But like that would be my estimation, would be like, you want to be an artist, you should go do something worth being an artist about. And then like if you become a good enough artist, because if you like to do it, then by the time you bring your art to YouTube, then it'll stand out. Because like if you automatically just decide that you're going to create like the run of the mill YouTube art channel, like there's plenty of people who could do that. But I'd say if you wanted to be anything, if you wanted to be a YouTube gamer, maybe you should go get an Xbox. Maybe you should go start playing video games, play video games and record the footage and find out how to record the footage and upload videos. That's honestly one thing that people forget about. Um, it's like the most important thing. It's like if you're gonna join, if you want to become a TikToker even, or you want to become an Instagram person, go upload to those websites. You don't have to upload videos of yourself, just upload to the website. Like you want to go be an uploader, go upload. Like you're not going to go all of a sudden be a YouTuber if you're not uploading to YouTube. Like you have to upload to the website. That's honestly, that's the quickest way to becoming a YouTuber is go upload 100 videos. Go figure out 100 videos in 1 week to upload to YouTube, and upload them and title them and write descriptions and find out what bugs you get. And the next week, upload 100 more. And over 10 weeks, upload 1,000 videos to YouTube and get 0 views on every single video. And then you'll become a YouTuber. You'll realize what it's like to become a YouTuber. Go upload 1,000 videos over 10 weeks on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram each. Upload 3,000 videos over the course of the next 10 weeks over YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. They could be any length. They could be 15 seconds long. They could be any video of anything within reason. You don't want to get a community guideline strike, but maybe you do. And maybe you got to get a couple of community guideline strikes. Maybe you got to ruffle a couple feathers. Maybe you got to get a couple accounts deleted. Maybe you got to get your feet wet. But if you got something that you want to do, you got to go try and do it. Laughing my ass off. Great advice. Yeah, that's what I would say. If you want to go be a boxer, yeah, you can have a shout out Bernie Draw. Yeah, you want to be a YouTuber, everybody go subscribe to Bernie Draws. Like Yeah, and go start referring to yourself as a YouTuber. If you go and you have 3,000 videos uploaded online and they're anything, it's really fairly easy to upload 3,000 videos. Like you could just set up a automatic like backload of like your desktop and upload like separate video files and automatically have meet the criteria and be like, bro, I just uploaded 3,000 videos and the website will service it. Like that's the other thing you overlook is that you have unlimited bandwidth, you have unlimited storage space, and you could share links with anybody you want. I mean, people obviously from my neck of the woods will probably just mute you, but average person, they'll just you could trick people into looking at your tweets and you could send people, I don't know. You want to go be a boxer, you got to go punch a bag. You can't I don't have a better metaphor than just a silly thing like uploading videos to the internet. The question is, what are you going to do when you become famous? I mean, if you have anything worth selling, then somebody's going to buy it from you and patent it and want you to give them a bill. you know, is it that you want to become a YouTuber? Because like becoming a YouTuber isn't. I don't know who a YouTuber is. What is that? James Charles? Said James Charles is the biggest YouTuber right now. I think that's the last time I remember a new YouTuber. It was James. It was like went like PewDiePie, Leafy is here, James Charles, FouseyTube, uh, fucking what is it now? Like they don't even have YouTubers anymore, bro. Like who? I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to bring it back, dude. Like I'm the YouTuber. I'm the only YouTuber, right? Like I'm the only one out here still who remembers Keemstar and remembers McJuggernuggets and let's see, Rice Gum, Smosh. I don't know. These are just off the top of my head, but it's weird to think that these people are in the past because I thought that they were like at one point in my life, like PewDiePie was probably like the most important thing. Like him being on South Park and everything like that. Like that changed my entire outlook on the world. South Park used to be huge for us. 1995 born people. That was like, I mean, just to think that that window of history is just now sort of passed us by is almost a it really hasn't settled home to think that like the last watchable episode of South Park is probably like 6 or 7 years old at this point, which is like that'll make you feel old if you think about that. It's like sure, South Park's still on the air, The Simpsons is still on the air. Um, thank God, you know what I mean? Because otherwise, I mean, people complain about these like shows and stuff like still existing, like oh, they're like The Simpsons, that show never ends. But it's like, nah, bro. Like the channel, the network that keeps The Simpsons on the air, like cares about our sanity. Because like, what else would it be, bro? Like, do we want just some like misconfabulated like cartoon that's like not recognizable? Because they surely could AI generate any Simpsons knockoff show and like mass produce it. But they go through the trouble of at least setting up the studio and going through the running through the mill of like creating and manufacturing celebrities and stuff like that. I mean, what are we to do when that all goes away? When there aren't any more Tom Cruises and people's perception of celebrity goes from being of like a Morgan Freeman esque Brad Pitt sort of era of what a celebrity once was into this new like Twitch streamer AI questionable soundbite, misconstrued, non-packaged sort of perhaps it's the sound, maybe it's the visual, maybe it's the person in it is the reason why the thing went viral in the first place, sort of TikTok mismatch way of people perceiving of celebrity. But that's honestly it's well far gone down that road. I mean it really has well far gone. It is far gone down that road, and it went down that road when people started caring about their own personal profiles more than they really cared about who was in the movies. When people stopped caring about and the fact of the matter is like, why should they care about like Danny DeVito and The Rock being in some remake of a Robin Williams movie? Like, why would they care? Why would they care that that new movie came out when they could go look at their Facebook and like they got Cash App? Yo, I got Cash App. Why would I care about the new movie? And plus, all the good movies have already been made. I mean, you ever see Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise? That still holds up. Lord of the Rings, it's a masterpiece. Like, I don't want to watch the Avengers. The Avengers is as old. The Avengers at this point is older than the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings came out in 2001. That movie hasn't aged a day since the day it came out. It's a pristine 2001 movie. You know the date. You know, you look at like the Avengers Endgame of Ultron. What year did that come out? 2008 through 2018. It's like none of those movies hold water in are and own they're all relics of a bygone era when it comes to that, because they, Lord of the Rings, it came out from the year 2001 to the year 2003. It was it was a uh, revolutionized filmmaking. People will tell you the date that the first Star Wars movie came out, but then you ask them about like the new Mandalorian, and it's like a bunch of miscombobulated sound bites. It's like a picture of a baby Yoda here that you could render on a 3D thing or whatever, all that crap. But what are you saying, Crunch? When I was 15, we could take liters of vodka in our hand luggage on planes. Hey, that's classy, dude. I still dress up in a suit when I go on a plane. Um, I don't know why. I like flying. I mean, I was just on an airplane, like I was telling you guys. Or you could see on my page, I guess, that I was like in Nevada and California, and like for the UFO convention. And I'm telling you, like you look around at all the I mean, that's a story for a different time, but like, you go on the airplane and then there's people there who are like dead set on having a bad time. It's like they're like gung ho on just having a bad time. They're like, "Oh, I'm here to have a bad time." Like, I'm not here to do anything else. I'm sitting here, I'm enjoying myself or whatever. Like I'm just sitting on a plane. I'm watching a shitty Ben Affleck movie, and like I'm generally having a good time, on an airplane. And like, but you go on an airplane and then like, I don't know, it's just lady goes to the bathroom and doesn't shut the door and the light doesn't go off, and then you're like, lady, can you shut the door after you just went to the bathroom, kind of thing. I don't know. Those kind of social interactions make it all worthwhile. That's what I have to say. You get a real experience, you get a salt of the earth experience of what it's like to be a Westerner and travel among the business class, I guess, because most of those people probably have actual things they're on their way to do, whereas yours truly, not so much. I wear flip flops on planes so I can see between my toes without violating my foot privacy. That's a little bit. That's a lot. You were born before 1985. That's what if you told me that? I don't know, man. I always wonder what people say. What if and then they say something and it's like, what if? I mean, why don't you just start with the thing that you were going to tell me? It's like, what if I was born before 1985? It's like, what if that? Why don't you just say I was born before 1985 and then finish your sentence? I don't know, Crunch. You seem like a good guy, but you got to think these ones through. You're wearing flip flops in the plane because you're already thinking that you're going to get searched. What kind of thing is that? You got to go there with, your chin up, talk down to those fools. You were born before 19. I was born in 1985. Oh, that's cool. Born in 1985 is pretty cool because you were born when Back to the Future came out, and Back to the Future says that the year 1985 is like the center point for all time space, right? That's the 1985, and then we got 1955, and then 2015. 2025 is coming up. Dude, 2025 is probably going to be a crazy year then. That's Biff Tannen. That's when Tannen Empire comes back. They say Biff Tannen's Trump. Remember that? Remember Back to the Future? They have like the Back to the Future 2 when Marty McFly goes to the alternate universe, Hill Valley, and then the Reddit said that Biff Tannen character was inspired by Trump. That's what Steven Spielberg said, that, or whoever, the guy who made the film, Robert Zemeckis, when he made Back to the Future, based the Biff Tannen character off of 1980s yuppie culture, the business Mongol. It's not hard to imagine. I mean, you look at what's it called? That other one too, American Psycho, Christian Bale. Clear. I mean, that's all the whole book. It's all he talks about. gonna be interesting 2024. I'm interested in that whole thing. A lot of historical things coming to a head. I mean, if you're a Philip K. Dick fan, this is quite the time to be alive. Just seeing like who was right and who was wrong as far as like the books. If you've read any book like Man in the High Castle or like Stephen King to a certain extent, then it's like we're watching. Yeah, Biff has a lot in common with Trump now. You say, uh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, rewatch it. They even look identical. Like when you look at it, I'm glad someone noticed it. Someone else noticed it. I thought I always talked about it with my friend, but it's cited too. Like it's weirdly, it's like in interviews. I don't know. 2015, 2025, 2035. That's 20 years. They say that the Back to the Future crap happens in 30-year cycles, though. So it might be 2000. Yeah, 2035 would be the year because it would be 2015 plus 10 years is 2025. I don't know. My Back to the Future math is off. My time travel math is off. How I need my DeLorean flux capacitor to figure that one out. Yeah, the Mandela effect, or that I wouldn't even call that the Mandela effect. I'd call that like, does history repeat? Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art? Or like, if you ever look up gematria, like the numerology and all that crap, like stuff's pretty predictable. Like for the most part. I mean, when you look at like names and like who who's like who built the railroads and stuff like that, like are people who like another interesting one, I guess, is more to the point. You could say what's it called? All the major companies were created at the beginning of the 1900s. Um, it's like it's weird. Like if you look at all the household name brands, or like yeah, look at the year 1900 and then just look up a list. You could just find it on Google. Just Google a list of all the companies that were created in the 1900s, and it's like virtually every big American company were all created in the 1900s. It's like just another weird one. It's like because you'd think they'd be a little bit more sprawled out. Like you'd think like you'd think that like all the different countries were, I mean, just sorry, you'd think they'd be like maybe a 10-year or 15-year span, or like some of them in 1800s. Like, nope, just 1900, 1901, almost like they planned it like that. Because I think they had all the technology all lined up, and then they just decided to patent it all at the same time. I mean, I'm sure it's something weird like that. Like, it probably lines up with like some banking fine print, but still at the same time, it's just like a little weird. You know what I mean? It's just like backroom dealing. It's like, oh, okay, so these things weren't necessarily invented; they were more so released. It's like a product launch. Um, Buster, you should take a test. Personal personality disorder. Why would I have that, Joseph Robinstein? Robin, I'm not doing that. Robinette, because the big companies bought out all the smaller ones. Take it on stream. I mean, maybe sometime. I don't know. You'd have to pay me to do that. I don't want to. I don't want them telling me stuff about myself that I already know. I don't want to take a test that tells you guys stuff about me without my permission. All the autobiographical and biological information that you're going to get from me is going to be. This is what Joseph said. He says that I should take a schizotypal. What's a schizotypal? That's not a That's not a personality test. That's something mean. I'm not. I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google what that is first before I actually even comment on it. Maybe he's trying to help me out. I don't know. Will it get me rich? That's that's the only type of personality test I want to take, is the one for the wealthy, for the future wealth, for the millionaire in the making, right? He's completely normal, just a fast thinker. Thank you, Crunch. I don't. I'm glad someone's here to explain me, because God knows I'm sick of explaining myself. You know, Joseph, is it supposed to be a person who's like got a delayed reaction, or is it supposed to be a person who's a man of action? I ask you. I'm just happy that my audio works. Honestly, it's a miracle. It's a miracle that my stream is coming through at all after what I've been through, after what I had to put up with. These fools. You guys are my only friends. So, Joseph, I thank you for showing up and caring about my personality. Freaking, I don't know, flawed as it may be. Right? Somebody else change the topic. I need a you know what I need? I need somebody from the old days when we had a faster chat. Like back in the day, I used to have the chat rolling and rocking and rolling. All right. Oh, thanks, Crunch. Yeah, I do it for Crunch. Thank you, Crunch. I'll make you a moderator. How about that? I'm gonna make Crunch honorary moderator of this stream. Oh shit! I have to log into my. I'm not even logged in. I'm Crunch. You're getting to be a moderator today. That's what I have to say. Let me log on to my YouTube page. I wasn't even logged in. Let's see. So you're gonna have a blue check mark in 1 second, Crunch. Let me just get to the live video. Rainy day. Okay. Live. And I could fix all this crap on here. Let me just make sure my RuneScape dude is not dead. All right. Yes. All right. So here we are. I am frustrated with YouTube. Copy. All right. Yeah, I don't know why. There is a thing of I have been told that I talk too fast though. So sorry, it's not. Can you guys like the stream too? One like. I just noticed that. Where the fuck? Wow, it doesn't even show the chat, dude. That makes me freaking angry, dude. All right, so like, there's no chat. Like, all right, sorry about that. Let me see. Let me get my. This is getting ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it on my phone because like. Ugh. All right, got you, man. I'm a man of my word. Word. The dude said to take a test on the in the chat. All right. All right. Here we go. All right. Gotcha. All right, Crunch, you are a standard moderator now. So you can show off your blue check mark now. And they use it or lose it. Now we can get back to business. Yeah, check out that. You guys are envious of that. That's the highest honor you could get for participating in a Buster friendly. I don't even know when the last time I gave out a. Yeah, this is a CEO in the making. That's a CEO move right there. Smart decision there. I am honored to have this business all set up and out of the way for future endeavors. Hey, much obliged. Well, that concludes the face cam portion of the stream. I'm getting tired of looking at myself, but for those of you who tuned in for the Buster Friendly face cam special at 30-minute mark, congratulations. You found me. Now I'm gone again. I don't know. I like to sign. That's sort of like my signature. Is like in the middle of the stream, I like to just take a picture because that's like how how I can like. I don't like to like record myself talking, but I like a nice picture of myself with the so that I could like sign it. If that makes sense. So that's what that is. That's like the yeah. Not necessarily camera shy. Just like why would you put a million pictures of yourself online? Yeah, there you go, Joseph Robinette. Robinette, is that it? Robinette. Yeah. So you've been here for the secret meeting part of the stream. Gotta put a face to the name, you know. What else is going on in the news? Not much. I feel like the news is like the exact same thing from 2019. Does anybody else feel that way? Like, take a second look at all the news headlines. I'm not taking a personality test, bro. What do you stop it? Like, everybody's trying to sell you a book, bro. Like, I don't fucking want to take the. Why don't you talk about the thing and I'll like sell me on the idea before you try to like get me to go run through a fucking. I'm just tired. I think you might be a fellow. What are you talking about? What are you even selling? You probably try that on everybody. Schizotypal. I don't even like having that thing. Uh, yeah, the news is new. I just looked up that thing you were talking about, Joseph. That I don't know. What am I supposed to do with that test? Like I don't know. It says they take magical things seriously. It's like who the fuck wrote the look up the that. What is that? It's like it says you take who even uses the word magical things if they're not using it seriously. It's like to use the word magic in a sentence implies that you believe in magic. So you can't say if you take you can't you can't not take magical things seriously in the same sentence. You have to say magical things are not real. He believes in magical things, not he takes magical things seriously. If magical things exist, then they should be taken seriously. But if they don't exist, then like the person who if a person believes in if a person has proof of magic and then they take that seriously, that's advisable. But if a person doesn't have proof in magic and it just believes in magic without proof, then that's crazy, sure. But the person who wrote the first headline on that thing says that a person has that disorder if they take magical things. You understand the wonkiness of that language? It's like, what do you mean you take magical things? Take it should say it should have like a hyphen around it saying like they perceive things as magical, and then the news is why did Joseph retract his messages? He wrote some thing to this thing called Psych Times. It's called schizotypal personality test that he wants more people to be members to, and he put it in the chat, and he's like, oh, like, and then I look at it, and then it says that it's for people who take magical things seriously, and I'm like, and it says it's a problem, and I'm like, but the wording there is weird because it's like, how could you be the person who wrote that believes in magic, so why would it be a problem? If everybody was just believing in magic, then wouldn't it just be a word then? Isn't it just like, oh, why don't we just call it's like Thor? It's like a movie then. It's just like, oh, okay, we're just gonna fill in, we're just gonna use that as a placeholder for like, oh, it's magic. It's like the cookies turned into we baked the cookies and now they're magic cookies because they're not cookie dough anymore. It's like, what is no, that's science, right? Oh, now we're gonna use the word magic. So now we gotta assign now we all gotta go take personality tests to see how much we take the cookie magic seriously. It's like, get out of here, bro. Like, what are you selling? I'm wondering what he's selling, this Joseph dude in the chat. This Joseph guy. This is what he put. I got it right here. It's this thing. What is this? Psych Times dot it's like, guys, Google that middle word, like schizotypal, because it's like it says on Google when I looked at this, it says schizotypal personality disorder (STPP) is a cluster, a personality disorder characterized by intense discomfort and reduced capacity for close relationships. All right, disordered. See, it's like they go after people who don't have good, so they don't have good relationships, and then it says disordered cognition and separation and eccentric behavior. So if you don't have close relationships but you're eccentric, and then you believe in magic, and you believe in superstition, then they say that you're paranoid, and then they say that something about like avoiding people. Like that's such a mishmash. Just that sentence about the some people. I don't know. I guess it's a real thing. I guess, I mean, it must be because it's describing a condition that's like used by people, you know what I mean? Like, and people have it, you know, they get diagnosed with that. But I'm just saying, like, it's just miscombobulated language. I don't understand, and I'd appreciate it not getting pushed on people here, Joseph, because you're not a clinician, and I don't want people taking your personality test think just because they just off the rip, off what Google's telling me is it's a personality test for people who are feel like they don't have friends and are feel like out of place because they are into wait little into Harry Potter, and I'm like, what are you trying to sell? Like, what, you have a problem with that? You have a problem with Slytherin or something? I don't know. How did you get most of your subscribers? I just went to I don't know. I had like a YouTube channel. It's an old YouTube channel. That's just like I got my subscribers just from being a YouTuber. You know, you just it's an old kind of. I've had this page for a couple of years, and you just I don't know, YouTube Shorts. I'd say YouTube Shorts is how I got like gaming content, just shorts. I don't know, stuff like that. That's how I got my subscribers. Just look it up on Social Blade. It's there's a record of it somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if I believe. I don't think I believe in magic. Like, what does magic even mean? I don't know. I think it's a cool word, but I don't know. I don't think you need the word. I think like I don't think the word should be thrown out. Like I think that the word magic is a cool word, but I think it's supposed to be mystical. I think things that we pick out, like things that we solve, we should use the names for them after they've been solved and just let magic be magic, right? Like just it's always got to be phenomenological or like mystical. It's like the minute that you think that you've got it explained, then it ceases to be magic because you've given it a name. I don't know. The internet's magic. The internet is magic, bro. Like just because you profess to understand it because you've named it doesn't necessarily mean that you claim it, right? If a magician Crunch says if a magician allows me to saw them in half, I believe they believe in magic, otherwise they are Carlton. Well, they could be a magician is different than a mage, isn't it? I don't know. What's a wizard? Isn't it a wizard? A wizard is something different. If they say if they're a magician, then they're playing a trick. They're like a clown. You know, a clown can juggle, and it's not magic. It's a trick. A magician, a trickster. That's different than a wizard. If they say they're a wizard and that they're using it's magic, there's difference between a trick and like sleight of hand. Because like you could do like some trick with my thumbs and like make me do some like neurological wonky trick that makes you like pull a card out of my ear or something like that. It's like I'd be like, wow, that was magic or whatever. It seems like magic. You know what I mean? It's unexplainable. It's phenomenological. It makes me go to a place in my head where I don't necessarily, I need to rationalize it for a second before I fully comprehend it. And I guess it's like that moment of awe, that wonder, that adornment of the person who's able to perform it is what makes them, uh, a student of the dark arts, right? It's like they come from a place of where you don't, where you need not dwell. They play so much with those cards to the point where they've developed a skill, haven't they? They know that deck of cards. What is that? Where does this person come from? How do they know the deck of cards so well? They've achieved some level of mastery. Warlocks are what you need to be careful of, says Crunch. Yeah, warlocks. Where do warlocks live? In the woods? Is that like Saruman? Warlocks are like sold themselves out to the Dark Lord, I think, as I understand it, or at least my experience with warlocks. In fact, the last warlock I saw lived down in Silvertown. He was a welder. Now that's the kind of guy you want to watch out for. He had another type of personality test that one need not be mentioned. He had a personality test that was government related. You see, now those are the people who really outshine when it comes to proving the mustard, right? When it comes to trying to, you know, the tail wags the dog, if you know what I mean. And I'll leave you on that note.